Hi everybody, Shane and Marne here, and we're continuing on in basically growing in a time of crisis. And we've looked at a number of different things. Yesterday, we started to touch on John chapter 14, verse 12. And if you could read that for us again, love, and then we'll get into it again today.
Jesus speaking to his disciples, saying, Verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believes on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
And so, in a time of crisis, I really think it's important that we realize that we can grow not just by enduring, but by overcoming. Because a lot of the time we think that we just need to push through and just endure it and suffer and come out to the other side, like Jesus said, those that endure to the end shall be saved. And there's truth in that, but there's also the truth of, hey, you can do the same works as Jesus did and even greater works. So I mean, if you look at it, yesterday we spoke about how we can love like Jesus loved in a time of a crisis. And that'll cause us to grow and flourish. But it's like we can also use the authority that he gave us to be able to deal with the problems that we've got, like speaking to the mountain, commanding it to move, speaking to the problem, Mark chapter 11, verse 24. Or 20 to 22. And, there's different things like this where we can exercise our God-given authority over things in order to overcome them. It's not just overcoming by pushing through, but overcoming by having joy like Jesus did through the circumstance, and overcoming by exercising our authority to see the works of the enemy just destroyed. We don't have to suffer what the enemy is throwing our way. We can squash it because of the authority we've got. We're seated with Christ in heavenly places.
I find this very encouraging because if you think about it, we're in a very interesting time in history and in the world where there are so many different challenges, and so many of these challenges, whether it's people being sick, people dying, economic difficulties, and all kinds of problems that we can't even foresee now that'll be a fallout from this. We don't only have natural answers for things that don't have natural answers, we have supernatural answers. I mean, if you look at everything that Jesus did, he healed people that were impossible to heal. He loved people that were impossible to love. He had wisdom, he had insight, he turned water into wine, he multiplied food, so many different things. He raised people from the dead. And that means that in this season and in the season ahead, we get to draw on our relationship with God, and we get to provide the world with the power of God and the power of Christ. We can in this season grow in our relationship with God and learn how to walk the way Jesus walked, operate in his power, so that for the questions that the world has, the needs and the hurts that the world has, that we don't have natural answers for, natural provision for, we can step in and give supernatural answers to and solutions to.
I mean, that's so good what you're saying, because a lot of Christians you might be facing a challenging situation right now, and you're saying something like, it would take a miracle to get out of this situation. Well, I've got a scripture for you. He that believes on me, the works that I do, he shall also do, and greater works than these. So Jesus did miracles. You can too. And it's not your power. It's his power. But you can do the same work. So if he did a miracle, you can do it. And so the situation, the challenge that you're facing, yes, you can overcome it. Yes, you can get through it. If you need a miracle, well, why not? And we often disqualify ourselves because we tend to focus on our carnality and that we're not like Jesus the way we think we should be. But yet the scripture shows us that as he is, so are we in this world. 1 John 4 verse 17. The way Jesus is the way you are right now. No, the other way around. The way Jesus is right now is the same way you are right now. So it's like as he is, so are we in this world. Okay, so Jesus is as righteous as Jesus is. That's how righteous I am. And that qualifies me to be able to do the same works that Jesus did and greater works than these. And I love what this verse says. It says, he that believes on me. So it's not he that lives a squeaky clean life and is good at the Hebrew and the Greek of the New Testament and the whatever. It's not talking about your performance. It's saying that if you believe, if you have faith, you can do the same works that Jesus did and greater works.
And the awesome thing is, he's not saying if you believe in this thing or you believe very well, you have so much faith. He just said, just whoever believes on me, whoever believes on me. And so it's not even having to try and believe something extremely spiritual. Jesus is a person, and you can know him and just believe him. And that's it.
So you basically just believe on Jesus. You believe that he's with you. You believe that his word is true and that what he says is true. So you believe that, hey, I can do the same works that Jesus did and greater works because he said it.
Absolutely.
And when you believe that, it enables you to see that, to live in that reality, and then you can overcome the challenges that you're facing. James chapter 4 verse 7 says, submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. There's some things that come in our lives that are demonic. They are not from God. Okay, some of the challenges that you might be facing right now are not from God. And the way to deal with that is to resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Resist him, resist his works, and he has to go. Okay, but it starts off and it says, submit yourself to God. Some of you need to submit yourself to God's words here and choose to believe them when he says you can do the same works that he did and greater works than these. The problem is a lot of us as Christians are resisting these words of Jesus, and therefore we cannot live in this reality. But if you want to live in this reality, then you submit yourself to God by going, okay, God, you said it, I believe it. And then when you're resisting the enemy and his works in your life, you're resisting that financial challenge, you're resisting the lack, the sickness, the whatever, the fear. You will see things change in your circumstances because of your faith in him and in his word. So we really just want to encourage you today to believe Jesus, believe his word, and that will cause you to grow in a time of crisis, overcome the crisis, and come out stronger than you went into it. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.